Good afternoon, boys and girls. It is a rainy, cold day, and I thought it'd be a great day for a story. Today, I'm going to read you one of my son's favorites. It's called The Sheep of Lal Bagh. It takes place in the heart of India. Come along with me. Isn't that beautiful? The Sheep of Lal Bagh by David Mark. The pictures are by Lionel Khalif. To Jeannie with love. In a little city in the heart of India, there was a big park called the Lal Bagh. From miles around, the people worked very hard, came to the Lal Bagh to relax and enjoy themselves on holidays. There is a lot of hard work in India, but there is also a lot of holidays. They came to see the big white petals of the lotus flowers opening and closing in the pond, and the rubbery plants, and the stickly plants, and the curly plants in the glass house, and the flame of the forest trees that dotted the sky with the orange, and the water in the fountain making rainbow splashes. But most of all, they came to see the lawnmower. This is not a very new or modern lawnmower. It did not cut the grass very quickly. In fact, it was not a machine at all. It was a sheep. His name was Ramesh. Every morning, just at sunrise, he started at one corner of the lawn. He bent his head and cropped the grass close to the ground. On holidays, his mowing was very special. On the solemn holidays, he mowed in large circles that got smaller and smaller until he reached the middle. On the happy holidays, he started at the center and mowed out to the corners and the sides until the lawn was shaped like a star. Ramesh took a lot of pride in his work. I could see why. His holiday mowing took a long time because there were many interruptions. The men came over and patted him on the back. They grinned and said, "Ramesh!" The women came over and rubbed his head. They smiled and said, "Ramesh!" And the children came over and got on his back, and as he took them for slow jogging rides, they laughed and shouted, "Oh, Ramesh! Ramesh!" Ranjara was one of these men, and his wife Kamala was one of these women, and their son Krishna was one of these children. They had lived on a farm in the country, but they had lost their land and had come to the city. The Lal Bagh reminded them of the country, and Ramesh reminded them of their farm. It seemed to make them all feel better just to say Ramesh. But the mayor of the little town in the heart of India was not satisfied with his lawnmower. He called the park master. "We must have a machine to mow the lawn," he said. "But we can't afford it," replied the park master. "The people want to be proud of their city," cried the mayor. "They will pay for it." The people paid for the machine. Ranjara and Kamala and Krishna contributed their few pennies too. They wanted to be proud of the city as long as they had to live in it. They did not understand the machine was going to take Ramesh's place. I love that bird on his head. The first time Ramesh saw the machine cutting the grass, he turned, and with his head down, he walked out of the park and up the hill and out of sight. He joined a flock of grazing sheep. They did not understand why he ate the grass in circles or star shapes, and they never knew why. Every now and then he raised his head and stood looking down the hill with big, sad eyes. So they just went about their munching and left him alone. Poor Ramesh. On the next holiday, Ranjara, Kamala, and Krishna and a lot of other people went to the Lal Bagh as usual. They enjoyed the lotuses in the pond, and the plants in the glass house, and the water in the fountain, and the orange blossoms of the trees. But when they got to the lawn, there was no Ramesh, only a machine. They could not pat a machine, or rub a machine's head, or climb on a machine's back, or ask it for a ride. So little by little, the people stopped coming to the park. Workdays or holidays, nobody came. The mayor called the park master. "Where are the people?" he cried. "They don't come since Ramesh left," said the park master. "We must find that sheep," roared the mayor. A committee was appointed to find Ramesh, but a committee really can't tell one sheep from another, so they could not find him. "Hey, are you Ramesh? Hey, let me just look at..." No. Hey, what's it? That paw, it's not Ramesh. Hey, let me check. Oh, no. This guy's ready to go home. He's had enough. Hey, get off my back. Are you Ramesh? Ugh. Then Ranjara and Kamala and Krishna went up the hill to look for Ramesh. Ranjara thought he could recognize Ramesh from the way his woolly body felt, and Kamala thought she could recognize him by the look in his eyes. So Ranjara started at one end of the flock patting, and Kamala started the other looking. They could not seem to find Ramesh, but Krishna noticed one sheep off by himself eating the grass in neat circles around a bayan tree. "Ramesh!" he cried, and he jumped on the sheep's back. "A ride, Ramesh, a ride!" And that was how Ramesh came back to the Lal Bagh. Now the machine mows the lawn very straight and very fast, only on work days. Ranjara and Kamala and Krishna and all the other people feel proud that their park is up to date this way. Of course, they don't get a chance to see the machine very often because they're working. About the only one who sees it is Ramesh. He does not mind now, and he does not hang his head, because on the holidays, he is the lawnmower. When he is not having his back patted by men like Ranjara or his head rubbed by women like Kamala, he makes solemn circles in the grass between the green plants in the glass house and the white lotuses in the pond. And when he is not taking children like Krishna on his back and giving them little rides, he eats happy stars in the grass between the rainbow splashes of the fountain and the orange blossoms of the trees. The end.